I can't find a way to tell you what I've done to you. I find it hard to say these things, tatter up your dreams.
Okay class, today's lesson is about children's rights because today a child's rights review has been published, so I hope you've done your homework, have you?
Yes, Miss.
I want you to explain what children's rights review is and what it means to you. So Megan, can you come up to the board and tell us what you've learned about this review and how it was carried out?
Well, it was a big piece of work, and I mean a very big piece of work. There are 440 pages in it, and that's a lot of reading. What we're going to do for the class is explain a little bit about each chapter of the report. Before doing that, I want to explain why Niccy carried out this review and how we went about it. A couple of years ago, Niccy decided to go out and about all around Northern Ireland, asking children and young people about their rights. You've probably heard about rights before, but if you haven't, there are lots of things that the government has promised all children and young people should have, like a good education, a safe place to live, good healthcare, and the right to have their say about things that affect them. These are listed in a big document called the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Niccy's staff met with over 2,000 children and young people in schools, youth groups and summer schemes, asking them about which of these rights they feel they have and which they don't. They have also asked some parents, carers and other people who work with children and young people, including teachers, social workers and youth workers, what they thought the government was doing well for children and young people and things they needed to do better. In doing this, they found out lots of different things about lots of areas of children and young people's lives, including school, home life, health, play and how they're treated by other people. They also read what other people had found out about these things before us and looked at what the government has done to try and make things better in these areas. We are going to make sure that lots of people read this report and find out what they still need to do to make life better for children and young people.
Okay, thanks. There was indeed a lot of work involved in this. The first main chapter of the report is called General Measures of Implementation. Now Carla, can you tell us a little about this?
This is about the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, the document that has a big list of rights that children and young people should all have. Well, this chapter is about the convention and what government should be doing to make sure all children and young people in Northern Ireland are able to get these rights. What I learned from this chapter was the government has done some things in the last few years to make things better for children and young people, like starting to talk to children and young people about some things they might want to change, but there are lots of other things that still need to improve. The government should make the convention part of our law. This would help children get their rights. Sometimes different government departments don't look at what each other are doing. It is really important that they all work together to try and make things better for children and young people. Every time the government thinks about doing something that might affect children, like changing a law, they should check first how this might affect children's rights.
Thank you, Carla. Now in the third chapter, Civil Rights and Personal Protections, step forward, Deborah.
There are many issues that come under this chapter. It was really good to read about the government and the things that they have done to keep children and young people safer in the past few years. But there were things that worried me. And some of the things that I'd like to highlight are the use of antisocial behaviour orders. I suppose they should be stopped. Something needs to be done about the bad view lots of adults and even the media have of us young people. Physical punishment, sometimes called smacking, but it's really hitting and that should be stopped. There should be more protection for children when they're online, when they're in their homes, or even in their communities.
Clementine, can you tell us about family life and alternative care?
We all need somewhere to live and be cared for. Some people live with two parents and some with one. Some aren't able to live with their families and live in care. The review says there should be better help and support for families where the parents are separating. The government should do more to keep all children and young people safe in their homes. Some young people have to care for their parents because they're sick. These young people need more help. Children who live in care often don't get to see their parents. These young people need more help. Children who live in care often don't get the same help and support as other children. The government should do more to support them and help them to do well in life. Children in care should have more chance to be involved in decisions about where they live and how they are cared for.
Thanks. Now can Claire come to the front and tell us about the chapter on health and welfare?
Hi everyone. Well, I looked at the chapter on health and welfare. We all want to be fitter and healthier, don't we? There was a lot I wanted to say, but here are some of the things in the review that I thought were important. There should be more time and money spent on health promotion. Some groups of young people aren't able to get the help and support they need to stay well, both physically and emotionally. The government has a Fit Futures plan, but they need to put in the right amount of money to complete this and set targets to make sure they actually do it. Also, there are lots of children who are living in poverty or are homeless. I couldn't believe how many. The government must do more to help them.
Interesting. Now on the chapter on education. Stephanie, you can tell us what you've learned.
Thanks. We all went to school, and while we're told they're the best days of your life, we know that this isn't the case for everyone. I was shocked to learn that so many children aren't receiving their basic rights. Here are some of the key points from the review. While some children and young people are doing really well at school, there are lots of others who aren't getting the education they deserve. More needs to be done to stop bullying at schools. Teachers need more training to cope with changes in the curriculum. Some schools have school councils that allow pupils to have their say about what is going on. All schools should have these. There is information on Niccy's website about how to go about this.
Thanks. Now on to the area, one of the most important for almost all children and young people I've met, play and leisure. Over to you, Tristan.
Hi there. I know from the review that play and leisure is one of the most important things for us young people. The review contains a lot about what we need and what government should do. I mean, some of the main points include that the government's play policy needs to actually happen and the money needs to be there in place to support it. All government departments need to work together in order to achieve this. And of course, local councils should make sure that play policies are in place and ask young people what they need. Disabled children and young people should have the same opportunities to play as any other child.
Thank you. Now the final chapter in the review is on juvenile justice. Kate.
Hi there. This is a serious issue that affects some young people quite severely. Among the key issues in this review are the need to raise the age of criminal responsibility, investing more to prevent young people from offending, and making sure that efforts are made to make sure young people's rights are fully respected if they are arrested.
Can I thank you all for taking part, and now a final word from Megan.
Thank you, Patricia. The Child Rights Review is a massive piece of work that covers most aspects of children and young people's lives in Northern Ireland. What we have told you today is a quick glance at this massive report. I hope it gives you a flavour of the issues. What we all hope is that if you're interested enough, you will go to Niccy's website, www.nicky.org, to find out more information on this review and the works of Niccy. Until then, thanks for watching and stay tuned to the Niccy Youth Panel YouTube channel for more on what we do.
Waking up another day, and I can't